Welcome to LSC. It's Sports Time. I'm your host, Bob Hintz. Today I have with me Claude Burton, who is the CEO of, I'm going to make sure I get to the promo events.
That's right.
You and your wife set this thing up a long time ago. And it sounds like a lot of fighting going on, but it's really more to do with health and fitness. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
So talk a little bit about the health and fitness. How did you get into this?
Well, we've been at this is our third year having this event, and we feel that, health and fitness is important in today's world, so we wanted to bring that in, and what we want to have is a Zoomathon. It's going to be a Zoomathon for breast cancer.
Okay.
So that's going to be a part of all of the events this year.
Okay, well, let's go back a little bit and get a little background on you, because you went to Kecoughtan High School.
Kecoughtan High School.
And played basketball, was your ninth grader?
Ninth grade, yeah.
And then after that, you says, okay, I'm going to make sure I got my academics.
Oh, yeah, got to get the academics right.
Right.
Have to. From there, I went to Thomas Nelson.
Right.
Played basketball there.
But there, yeah, then you went there and you played basketball and did something a lot of people don't get a chance to do.
Yeah, we won the state championship at Thomas Nelson, and then I finished it up at Christopher Newport.
Right. And that's when you end up getting your degree at Christopher Newport.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when did you graduate from Kecoughtan?
I came out of Kecoughtan in 75.
75,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after you graduated, you went to CNU, and then you graduated from CNU after you went to Thomas Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
What did you end up getting your degree in?
Have a degree in public management.
Public management.
From CNU.
Okay, and you, this is not your full-time thing that you're doing, this promo events.
Oh, no.
But you've got another job that brings in money, so you can do this.
I work for the Newport News Redevelopment Housing Authority. I'm a counselor, family counselor and school counselor with them.
Okay, and what does that involve? Is counseling about?
Academics, family counseling, the whole works.
Right, and so you find yourself having to deal with a lot of youngsters that helps you with the experiences of what you've gone through in your life?
Oh yeah, we work for everything, like I said, from family counseling on up to scholarships. We help kids get scholarships to continue their education, the whole works.
All right, well, what brought this about? How did you and your wife decide, all right, well, let's do a thing, and where did the promo events, how did this all come about?
Well, I'm a sports fan. Basketball is my first love.
Right.
I like it all. And I have promoted shows before. We had field hockey, boxing down at Fort Monroe, and then one day I met with Boo Williams. And this was back when he was just building the complex.
Right.
And we discussed it, and he loved the idea. So we just put it together, and this is our third year at it.
All right. What is your wife more of the getting on the phone and getting everything organized?
Yeah.
She's the organizer.
She's the organizer. Yeah. She's the organizer. I'm the one out, talking to the sports people.
So you're the personality guy. You're going to go out and you talk to the people, but your wife is the one that's doing all the work.
Doing the hard work.
I hear you. And your wife's name's Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
And what does she do?
She's a nurse at Centennial Hospital.
Okay, well, that's great. Now, this event that you're having what is the name of it?
It's called the Ultimate Combat Sports Challenge.
Ultimate Combat Sports Challenge. Sounds like a lot of fighting.
Oh yeah, well, it's illegal.
Hell
it's
yeah.
illegal.
But it's not just one type of event going on. You've got different things. Let's talk about the different things going on.
Okay. Yeah, what we do all under one roof. We have boxing, karate, wrestling, and we're fortunate to have the National Arm Wrestling Tournament coming there this year.
The National Arm Wrestling Tournament is going to be held at the Boo
Williams Sportsplex.
Sportsplex.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's really good. Now, let's talk about the different events. Are these all going to be at separate times, or if I wanted to come to these events, I go over to the Sportsplex? Mm-hmm. Is they all going to be going on at once, or
right,
how does that work?
What you do, you come in, doors open at 9 o'clock, you pay the one fee, you come in, you get to see everything.
All right, and when is this going to be held?
October 15th.
October 15th?
Saturday, October 15th.
Okay, and so when you walk in, you're going to have all these events going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm. They all start around by, I say, 10, 11 o'clock, and they all be coincide at the same time.
Right, and talk a little bit about the Zoomathon for breast cancer. this whole thing is for the awareness of breast cancer and to help raise money for breast cancer and all that, I'm assuming. And your wife, I'm sure, had a lot to do with this situation.
Oh yeah, being a nurse, and the health and fitness part is important to her as it is to me also. We have various instructors from throughout the area, from Smithfield, Hampton, YMCA, Newport News, and they're all going to come together and have a big Zoomathon.
Okay. And is this the first time that you guys done something like this?
With the Zoomathon, yes, it's the first time. So we hope to have a good turnout on it.
All right, we're gonna come back and talk about the arm wrestling because we have a Hall of Famer with us, Steve Stanaway.
That's right.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Steve.
I'm Carl Francis, Director of Communications for the NFL Players Association. You're watching LSC, all sports, all the time.
Welcome back. I have with me Steve Stanaway. Steve, who is an arm wrestler, but is also in the Lower Peninsula Athletic Hall of Fame when they got the plaques over at the Sportsplex, Williams Sportsplex, and that's a good place because before they used to be over at the Coliseum, you couldn't see them. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
I'm here.
Tell me a little bit about arm wrestling and itself. And you was telling me that it's arm wrestling, actually it's from the wrist up, it's not necessarily the arm and the shoulder.
That's the way I see it. If you talk to another arm wrestler, they may tell you different. But when I train from my wrist to my fingertips. If I can control your hand, I control the arm. It's the same thing like you have a Corvette with 500 horsepower.
Right.
And I got a 4-cylinder Chevette. If you can't get the Corvette in gear, it's not going anywhere. The Chevette will beat it. So if I can control your hand, I control your arm.
Okay. Now, when we're having this arm wrestling going on over at the Sportsplex, is it age, weight? How do you set that up?
Well, they have it both. They have an age, 40 and up, and 50 and up. Okay. But they also have an open division. Like I'm gonna get in all three. I'm gonna get in the open division. That's anybody in that weight class. Then I'm gonna get in the 40 and over. Then I'm gonna get in the 50 and over.
Okay. How long have you been doing arm wrestling?
I've been arm wrestling since 1968.
A little while.
A little while.
You think you got it down?
Not yet, because I'm still doing it. I'm trying to learn.
On it. I stay out. But you got your son that's also doing it, right?
That's my brother.
Your brother. Okay. And is this something that you guys did as kids and growing up, or how did you get into it?
Well, back in '68, I was reading a weightlifting magazine. It had a contest in New York. So me and a friend of mine went to New York and got in it to see how well we could do. And then I come home, and I have 7 brothers, and we arm wrestle in the house all the time. And the mom raised Cain because we arm wrestle the kitchen table, the living room table, and things did get broken. And we caught a little bit of heck over it.
Yeah. Well, now, I see, if I can remember, you put your elbow in a thing and you can't lift it up. You take me through some of the do's and don'ts.
You got a table 36 inches wide.
Okay.
You got a 7-inch square pad, and they're staggered. You put your elbow on the pad, anywhere on the pad you like, and then you got a peg over here you have to hold. Your elbow can slide as long as it don't come up.
Oh, it can slide, but okay. So I didn't even know that.
It can slide all over the pad as long as it don't make, you don't come up and the referee sees air between your elbow and the pad. If he sees that, you pick a foul up, and 2 fouls is a loss.
Okay. What happens if you slide off the pad?
That's a foul.
That's also a foul.
Right. If you come off that pad at all, it's a foul. And if you come up twice, it's a loss.
Okay. And is there a time limit on this, or?
No, that man says go. You go to win, but see, they have a stand-up national and they have a sit-down. The stand-up, you have a lot more body weight into it, a lot more speed.
Oh yeah, because I've seen him stand with a tall table. Now that you mentioned it, yeah.
Now sitting down, it goes back to the old days of arm wrestling where you basically use your arm, and it takes all the weight and speed out of it. So a typical stand-up match. Yeah, it might go 5 seconds. That's a typical. You can have some go 15, 20, but typical is 5 seconds. A sit-down match, it may go as long as 30 seconds.
Wow.
Because you don't finish them off. And a sit-down is more spectators. Because if you sit there and watch somebody pull, and you got a 30, 40-second match, you'll see a good match. But stand-up, they're over so quick, you really don't get a chance to see it.
The advantage of having the hold of the peg or whatever it is, you have that in both stand-up and the sit-down. Okay.
It's the same tabletop. All to do is use shorter legs and a bench. It's the same tabletop.
And while you were arm wrestling, can you talk to the guy, try to use a little psychology on him?
Yeah, you can talk to him. You can talk to him before it starts.
So
it's a friendly thing. You know, very seldom anything gets out of hand.
But now I have seen videos of a guy arm wrestling and his bones snap. Is that a very uncommon thing?
I don't know. I've been doing it since 68. The organization started in 67, but I started in 68. I've probably seen 110, 120 break over the years. And they break right here between the elbow and the shoulder.
Oh, I was thought it was down in the forearm area.
No,
it's
see,
not.
they're getting up here and you're pulling, and that bone twists like it's here, and it'll pow.
All right.
But I've seen over 100 of them break.
But never you.
Hope not.
Knock on wood.
But when you break your arm, you break your own arm. I don't do it. You get in a bad position.
It's you doing it yourself.
You get in a bad position, and you got a pull on your hand. I'm pulling, you're pulling, and that bone's twisting. So you do your own breaking. If I'm pulling somebody in their arm break, I didn't do it. They did it to themselves by getting in that position.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in and informing us on arm wrestling.
You like to pull?
All right. I want to thank you for tuning in to LSC. I want to thank both of my guests, Claude Burton and Steve Stanaway. I'm your host, Bob Hintz. Until next time.